Frank C. Eckmair was born on June 21, 1930 in Norwich, New York. From an early age, he took an interest in art and printing. As a boy, he drew on sidewalks and a chalkboard in his house and worked on typesetting for the publisher of the local newspaper. Eckmair was raised in Gilbertsville, a small village in rural Otsego County. Situated in the Butternut Valley, settlement began in the late 18th century. Today, the village is on the National Register of Historic Places.
This was a very rich village at one time, around the turn of the century, up to the crash in 1930. And the Gilberts were a large part of it, but there were other people that had more money than they did that came up here for a rest. They wanted to get out of the city. They built their mansions and went their own way. So you get a real mixture here. It looks very wealthy, and it isn't. It's a poor man's land. They're units unto themselves, these little villages. And I think that's the way they ought to stay. I don't really like to see them grow up. I don't want to see any cinder block buildings in the village. It's a stick village made out of lumber. If you walk around the town, you see all kinds of really some nice houses. As small as they are, they're pretty well kept up. But if you move to the edges of the village and the hills around, you'll find these mansions. And I've tried to do both in prints.
Eckmair left Gilbertsville after high school, graduated from Iowa State University, and received an MFA from Ohio University. While serving in the Air Force Reserve, he was stationed in Korea, often traveling to Japan to hike, and developing a collection of Japanese prints. He also visited Germany, Austria, and other countries in Europe.
I moved back into this kind of country, and it's made of letter presses, hand-set type, flat printing. They can handle woodcuts if you're careful with the wood the way that you use. And I started with that. I had seen a lot of it in Japan and in Europe both, and decided that was the area that I can work in easily and without a lot of expenses.
All of upstate New York has served as inspiration for Eckmair, but Gilbertsville and its rural surroundings have figured most prominently. The rolling hills, farms, both vibrant and decaying, and historic village architecture have all figured into his work.
I'll go to one setting and borrow the building. Well, I find a barn in another community, another side of the county that I like. I'll put that in it. So it's a mixture. And I'll take the landscape, since I didn't like the landscape on either one of them, in back of them or in front of them, I'll find another place. So it's made up of pieces. I had something certainly in mind for certain subjects or certain settings, and I probably tried to impose my thinking into the print itself. Sometimes you're successful and sometimes you're way off base. You just miss it. And how to explain it, I don't know. It changes, I think, with every subject you see. I don't know how successfully, but I do them anyway.
Eckmair's prints are characterized by trees, houses, and fields that seamlessly interact with the surrounding white space rather than being separated by distinct borders. His work redefines how landscapes can be portrayed in art.
The way a print is set in a border leaves it open. And the way that the white works into the print and around it, of course, I like much better than I do a print that has a ground of black. You can have a black square or a rectangle, I'll take a white square and rectangle, and I'll make that white work for me more than you can make that black work for you. It will join the image, it becomes part of the image and becomes a positive thing, an object, quicker than the black does. The black becomes a background. I don't like that. The white is very important to me, and how it moves in the white, and what position it is in the white.
Though his prints tell the story of the human experience, human figures are in fact noticeably absent from most of his work.
I used to like Baskin, and I looked at a lot of his work, and I decided that it's lacking some things for me. And I'm not that interested just in people, which he seems to be caught up with in a subject matter. And that's a problem, I think, with a lot of these people, a lot of the printmakers, their choices of subjects. It's really difficult to come across with any abstract ideas with a figure of a person. It belongs to that person, it seems, always. Not just ideas, but feelings. You can portray in a person's face, I'm sure of that. But I think I can do it in a landscape. And I like the landscape much better. My landscapes would be ruined if I put people in them. I don't want anybody in there, because the landscape is by itself. It's a lonesome piece, and that's the way it should stay. I don't know what else to say about it.